I mean, it's Cooper Rush worth 2.5 points? I would hope Quinn Ewers put up a decent stat line against Arizona State. If he didn't, we have a real problem.
You can say the same thing about Creighton. Okay, they had the one good game against Kansas at home.
When Toast talks about the kicking market, it's like some earth is flat shit. Andy, true or false, this is going to be a dog walking.
Dog walking. This is my dog walking of the day. I think it's going to be very ugly. Dog walking. I think this is going to be ugly.
Hey, get the sword. No, and when you do that, people tail then.
And then I get fucking DMs like, oh, the
we're
bad
live,
game,
by the way.
Toast. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry.
What's up, everybody? Spoon's here too. All right. Sorry for the late start. It was actually not my fault though. Pinnacle was crazy late opening the lines up. The Pinnacle didn't open the lines up for 80% of these games until what was that, like an hour ago?
I think you're giving him credit for an hour. Yeah.
So
not even an hour.
Yeah, it was. So everything you see on the screen comes from Pinnacle. So if they're not open yet, the only way I can run this show is if I manually type everything. Which, if it was like 6 games, I would have just done. But we've got 17 games queued up. Like, I'm not going to start manually typing that only for the lines to show up.
With an NFL video on deck.
Yeah, exactly.
I will say this just really quickly. It's only one comment, but I'm sure they're going to start to fade in. Comment, I can't pronounce his name. It means nothing to me. All I have to say is rest in peace to Miami. I hope you guys keep that energy. Keep that same energy all the way through until we get to Miami. Today was the first time I had ever heard Fernando Mendoza speak before. Instant fade.
Oh, I've heard him speak before.
Oh, my God. Instant fade.
Yeah, Miami money line. Canes are winning that game. All right, so yeah, we'll just rip through some games. It's obviously late. So wait, actually, real quick. First of all, special thanks to these guys for coming on late. So I appreciate you guys staying up to come on the show. But I think the more important thing we need to get to is, Spoon, do you have any response to the hotel game, the hotel gate?
I didn't even pay attention to it. So I know they lost in overtime. So I didn't actually get to watch the game. I just got to see they lost in overtime. I mean, USC, the better team on paper. You would expect them on a neutral to win that game handily. Going on the road, couldn't quite put it away in regulation. I don't know. I think Minnesota was just a couple shots away from covering that game. I like that Minnesota program. That's all I got for it. I think anytime we got a West Coast Big Ten program making a 3-game road trip, we should start to make notes of it. It's kind of unprecedented territory. Like, as far as like rivalries and like road trips goes, like road trips only matter when you're like really at a disadvantage, and like the West Coast, East Coast road trips for these teams matter a lot. And we don't see any East Coast teams making 3-game road trips at this point. So I think we should take notes. We'll see a few more of them in the future.
We don't. Someone brought it up in the comments. I guess we don't have graphics for. We got to talk about Nebraska, Indiana.
I was gonna say. I mean, there's so many games tomorrow.
No, but we have Nebraska lore on this show.
Yeah,
I mentioned it multiple times in the.
Yeah, dude, it was a mess.
Can I get it? Can I get a slide?
Hold on, before we start, let's do Nebraska, Indiana right now. I don't have graphics for it, but I'll put a poll up and we could talk about it. Indiana's laying 3.5, 4.5, depending on where you're looking. Does the magic end?
Go ahead, Spoon. Everybody already knows my thoughts on Nebraska.
All right, I'll start for TV Jones. Indiana is going to blow the doors off Nebraska. This, that, all that. I think Nebraska still undervalued in the market. We're looking at them catching 4.5 points. This is ridiculous. I'll take Nebraska 4.5. I'll take Nebraska money line. Indiana, not a bad Big Ten team. It's hard to win on the road in the Big Ten. Darren DeVries is a good coach. I like him. Tate and Connor Way, one of the better mid-major transfers you could get coming from Troy last year. This whole team is built in a way that I like, but I don't think it's built in a way that can cover 4.5 points versus Nebraska. I think Nebraska still has just a chip on their shoulder. Nobody respects them at this point in the season. We look at Indiana, what they've done against some of the better competition. Minnesota, they lost to on the road. Louisville, they lost to. Kentucky, they lost to. They managed to beat Kansas State and Washington, but I think this is a spot where Nebraska has a chance to come through money line, but I think this comes down to the last possession no matter what. So Nebraska plus 4.5.
I'll bet it with you, Spoon. And we see this in sports all the time. In every sport, there's a team that it happens both ways, where sharp bettors just, for example, in this instance, sharp bettors are not buying in on Nebraska. Last year, not this NFL season, last year was the Jets. Remember the Jets were taking sharp money every single week and they just never covered? There's just times where it's clear that sharp college basketball minds do not like this Nebraska team, and they're underpriced in market every single week, and they continue to be wrong. Yeah, I'm a believer. I'm with you, Spoon. Go ahead, Toast. Tell us why you think Nebraska's going to lose this time.
I haven't bet it, but I mean, I think the number speaks for itself. They don't get respect because they haven't really done anything to be respectful.
Oh my God, dude.
I mean, again, the Michigan State's the only game that's really impressive to me. I'm
Illinois?
sorry. Yes, Illinois. They had the Peyton Sanford kid go off for the best game of his life. AAU, JV, it didn't matter. He had the game of his life. Congratulations. How did he do the next game that the game was important against Ohio State? Let's take a look at that.
They won. That's how he did.
Non-existent.
They won, though.
Yes, they won by 3 on the road. Shot quality had that graded as a loss. Again, if they continue to get lucky, they continue to get lucky. But I will say this. I'm not betting it because we've seen this over and over the last 3 days. We saw it with Hofstra a couple of days ago. We saw it with Miami of Ohio today getting plus money again, and we're seeing it with Nebraska here. Those 3 are just off the top of my head. So clearly the books are wrong and the
You're just naming
wrong.
bets that I had in the last couple of days. Why can't we just do this one too?
I'm just telling you that all these fall into the same category where nobody respects the number. The number goes to everybody. There's like a quote unquote sharp better. The money goes the right way. Go ahead, world. Take Miami at the plus money. The world did, and they won easily. So I'm not going to get involved with it, but I still think there's a reason that Indiana is -4 because Nebraska doesn't deserve any respect.
Nebraska doesn't deserve any respect. What the hell?
I mean, Indiana
I had to bring Miami of Ohio into this.
Well, hold on.
Because it falls into the same category as respected bettors betting on the other side, assuming that that number is wrong. They did it with Hofstra as well. And now here we are against Nebraska. They're begging you to take Nebraska. I mean, this is like a tale as old as time.
They don't have to beg me too hard.
I'm not getting involved.
I did half unit money line.
Did anyone get a
full
TV?
unit?
Did anyone get
Four
a TV Jones take on that game? Did he talk about it yet?
No, TV Jones isn't. Actually, he might be in full spirits because he got one. He got Colorado State. So.
Oh, I saw his tweet. He started off 0-4. I don't think he's in high spirits.
Well, he might be in, because he started off his show by saying, "No, there's no more spot plays ever. This is gone. Just bet the public."
What that means is the spot plays start tomorrow.
Well, I don't even know what a spot play is.
For TV Jones, I was gonna say I don't know exactly what he qualifies as a spot play.
Tennessee, Florida, good one here. 5.5. I have watched the Tennessee game, but I can't remember what exactly my takeaway was from the team. What do you guys think here?
Tennessee plus the 5.5 for me. I think that Florida is good, but I thought that they would demolish Georgia, and that was a bet that I had last what was it, Monday, Tuesday, whatever it was. But that was because Georgia, as the schedule merchant in me would tell you guys, has played absolutely nobody, at least coming into that game. They got lucky against Auburn coming in before that, but it was just a horrible, horrible spot. But I didn't really take away. Florida didn't beat Georgia like going away the way that I thought that they would. They had a little bit of trouble actually in the first half, and then in the second half, the game kind of got away from Georgia. So I just don't have a ton of confidence in this Florida team. They don't shoot threes very well. They don't shoot free throws very well. And you have a Tennessee team that has came in that doesn't have a whole bunch of great impressive wins. Again, I mean, Houston and Louisville, take that for what it is. I think both those teams are kind of a little bit down this year, but still solid wins. But when they went out to Vegas, Tennessee didn't really play any of the good teams besides Houston. They got to play Kansas, Syracuse. They lost a bad game to Illinois, but I think that Tennessee is just as good, if not better, than Florida here. And if Tennessee's going to be able to play defensively, and if Florida's a team that's not going to take the ball away, they don't pass it a ton. They don't really shoot, like I said, they don't really shoot the three very well. I just have a hard time believing they're going to win this game by margin. So I'm already on Tennessee plus the 5.5.
Spoon, what do you think?
I have a hard time believing that Florida is going to walk away with this game completely. If we look at what they've done this season, it's hard to find like impressive just walk away victories versus good teams. They have the 10th hardest schedule in the nation, 40th non-con. Whenever you play SEC competition, that strength of schedule is going to start to pop up. But I mean, versus Arizona, it was an 87-93 game to start the season. Very competitive. I think a lot of people had high hopes for Florida. They didn't really play anybody. They played the bad Miami team, won by 15 points, lost on the road versus TCU, lost versus Duke and Connecticut. The Duke and Connecticut wins are nothing to be ashamed of. Those are really strong losses to have, especially on the road and coming at close points. But I just don't think Florida has shown the ability to separate this year. This team is not what it was in the last couple of years.
And yes, guys, my voice is a little bit weird. I'm a little bit sick. I apologize. It's not an alien. It's just me.
Toast is sick like every third day.
I've been sick twice in the last 10 years, and it's been in the last week. It sucks.
I am betting Nebraska plus 4.5 minus 110. It looks like they're all
4.5 now?
It's coming down, though. This is the last one.
It was at 3.5 this morning.
Yeah.
Should be free. So I don't even take the points, though. That's so good.
Are you going to hit some of that money line? I think I saw 175 when I was
Are you gonna hit some of the money
my
line?
bet. Yeah, no, I put a half unit on 175.
No, I'm just gonna chill with the 4.5. I should. That was a cowardice thing for me to do.
It was, especially in college basketball. You usually never take the points.
You're calling me a coward, Toast? You literally talked a bunch of shit about Nebraska and then ended it with, "I'm not gonna bet it though."
Because I've been burnt the last 2 times with the same type of situation. I mean, I'm not just
the
going to
same type of situation as in making a bad bet against Nebraska. I don't like this one, Tennessee, Florida. I probably would side with them on Tennessee, but VCU George Mason. I know Spoon was talking about this VCU team. Oh, Toast, you picked this game?
No, I meant to point to him. It just was the wrong way.
Spoon?
Big fan of this VCU team this year. Phil Martelli Jr. Coming over from the America East, getting a really just top job in America. VCU's solid school. Coming off a loss versus St. Louis, I was trying to find a way that I really wanted to back VCU, and I just look at George Mason, and this is another one of those teams that's easy to say they're overvalued on paper. They have the one loss this year, and they just have one of those just paper thin non-conference schedules, 349 in the country. Haven't played anybody, and that Virginia Tech loss, they went on the road, lost by 9 points December 6th. They've had a lot of time to try to figure out this new roster. Tony Skinn, a coach I really like, played for George Mason in that Final Four year back 2004, 2005. I think he is starting to get things figured out. I think this VCU spot here at home, I think we're getting a ton of value baked into VCU. Just the name value alone.
Wait, I have George Mason. Is VCU's at home? Did I set this up right? Yeah, George Mason.
No. George Mason's at home.
Oh, your pick is George Mason. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like VCU is like completely overvalued here right now. I think VCU is a decent team, but it shouldn't be laying points to George Mason right now. So I'm going to take George Mason plus points here at home. Tony Skinn, they'll have this stuff figured out. Coming through conference play, this is one of the toughest gyms to play in this conference.
Toast, any thoughts on this one?
Not really. He said pretty much everything I would say. This line reeks to me. I think VCU should be heavily favored. They're not. Yeah.
This is one of those rivalries that a lot of people don't have on their radar, but it exists, especially to George Mason and VCU fans.
That conference is cool. Wait, that's A10, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that conference is that conference is the Mountain West for football. It's a cool conference. Doesn't get recognized as one of the powers. So I don't even think you guys meant. I think Spoon clicked this accidentally for a second, and then I edited it, and then he unclicked it.
The only thing I would ever say about DePaul is we obviously fade DePaul, but they're not trying to win a game here. They're just trying to keep it close. DePaul versus UConn, I think DePaul can cover this number. One of the few times I will ever say that this year.
Really? Do I even have DePaul? I don't even have DePaul graphics. Let's just.
You shouldn't have DePaul graphics.
Yeah.
Just don't
let's just move on because the next game. Oh no, two more until we get to the game I want to talk about. Houston Baylor.
I don't get to talk about the Demon Deacons. I'm just kidding.
The Blue Demons.
They won for me last game out.
Wait, you mean the Blue Demons?
Oh yeah, the Blue Demons.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, they did win, and I watched pretty much the whole game. And
did you watch the second half of that game?
Yeah, I watched the whole game.
Did you guys watch Georgetown not make a field goal in the entire last 10 minutes of the game? One field goal in the entire second half.
We're talking about Georgetown later.
They only lost the game by like 3 points.
That was some of the most unimpressive basketball I've watched in a long time. Was watching Georgetown play DePaul.
Wise man once said, "Defense travels, boys."
What about Eastern? Does a wise man say about Eastern Michigan, Western Michigan, MAC basketball? Trevor's not even here. Who clicked this?
Ask Spoon if he clicked it. I haven't even looked at this game yet. I'm not gonna lie.
This is all me. This is just like a line that's built into time itself. They always put Eastern and Western at like a pick'em. Eastern Michigan is so much better than Western Michigan, and I know this is a bit of a rivalry, and Western will step up for this game, but. Hob, the center for Eastern Michigan, is one of the 3 best freshmen in this conference, and the MAC is filled with really good freshmen. All 3 of them will disappear to the Power 4 in the next couple of years. I just think this Eastern Michigan team has talent well above what Western Michigan has right now. Break this down on paper, we go look at what CBB Analytics has, and just the net rating itself, 15 percentile different. Eastern Michigan in the plus side of that. I think we have a way better team just playing or getting a point on the road. We have to take this.
Toast, any thoughts here?
No.
Toast
0.
Also, comment comes in from Mr. Weskers. He says 1 can of soda reduces your immune system by up to 70% for 3.5 hours.
Oh, I'd be dead by then. I'd be dead by now.
I think Mr. Weskers is looking out for your health there. Let's talk Houston Baylor. I love an elite Big 12 game. Nothing gets me jazzed up like an elite Big 12 game. Three's kind of short, but honestly,
it's 3.
Yeah.
Oh, what was the opener here, Toast?
I got Baylor at plus 4.5 and plus 170 on the money line.
You're taking Baylor here after that last performance against Iowa State?
Absolutely. Iowa State is one of the best teams in the country.
It's Houston.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Who also just came off a game versus one of the best teams in the country in Texas Tech, but Houston won their game.
Yep, barely. And now they hit the road again in a weird spot after they went on the road to Cincinnati, came home to play Texas Tech. This game's in Texas, but it's still a weird spot for them to me. But regardless, we have a Houston team. Hold on, let me get all my notes out. We have a Houston team that obviously is – I'm not trying to make a case that Houston's good or not good, but I don't think they're the Houston that we know from the last few years. I don't know very many people that will argue that. Have they played well so far this year? Yes. I'm not trying to make a case that they haven't, but Baylor's played just as good as a schedule, and if not better. And yeah, they have a couple away losses to St. John's on a neutral, Memphis on a Memphis away, and TCU, which I guess the TCU one isn't excusable, but I'm not going to fault this Baylor team for losing to Iowa State on the road. Or I'm sorry, Iowa State at home. Iowa State is, like I said, one of the best teams in the country.
I am going to fault them for that because they look like trash. I had Baylor money line. They were awful.
Yeah, I had Iowa State minus 5.5. Line came down to 3.5, and it was free.
I tailed TV Jones on Baylor. I remember.
But I just feel like you're getting Houston still in the market as one of these really, really good teams, and I don't think they're that much better than Baylor is my point. So you have a Baylor team that's lost 2 games in a row, 2 games that they probably should have won. Maybe not the Iowa State game, but regardless, they probably should have won. The TCU game. But regardless, I think that after playing a team like Iowa State and the defense that they play, it's not going to be some huge step up in competition to see this Houston team. So I just see this as a nail biter. I see this under 65 possessions. Both of these teams obviously shoot free throws really well. I just feel like this is a really good time to get on Baylor at home in the early window. So yeah, I got Baylor plus 4.5 and 170 on the money line.
Yeah, Pinnacle opened this one up at a flat 3. We are polling 75% Houston, 14% Baylor. Nobody is picking Baylor in the
All
poll.
glory to God. Baylor. Come on.
Damn it. It sounds like Spoon agrees with you, too.
Oh, no.
That's your cue, Spoon.
It's just so tough. So Houston has absolutely owned Baylor over the last 4 or 5 years here. Calvin Sampson, one of the best coaches in the country, but I think catching points here is the way to go with Baylor. It's not a game that I'm really super interested in. I think these Power 4 games lack a lot of absolute just like betting value in them, but I think the 4.5 that Toast got is the right side to be on. I'd still take the 3 with Baylor, but Houston's a great team. I really think this just comes down to the last possession, so I need those 3 points in my pocket. If this line was the opposite way, I would take Houston with the +3, but this is going to be a game that comes down to the last possession. I think the fact that Houston has owned Baylor so much over the last few years, and Houston's kind of got a down roster this year. I think Scott Drew's going to do everything he can to get the win here today. So I won't be on the money line, but I don't know. If I can get more than 3 points, I might consider Baylor.
And the last 2 times they played in Baylor last year, it was a 4-point game. They played in Baylor the year before that, it was a 6-point game. So, yeah, I think it's a good spot for Baylor.
Kind of wanted to bet Houston.
You should. Don't let me stop you.
No, everyone's picking Houston. The sharp action seems to be coming in on the Baylor side. Both you guys like Baylor. What the? I was kind of hoping to get. It's kind of. I'm putting Houston.
So like
up
the only negative thing you can say about Houston is that like the 1 3-day neutral conference road games that they played, but they like slept walk through that with Syracuse, Tennessee, and Notre Dame. Outside of this team hasn't really played anybody besides Arkansas and Texas Tech. Cincinnati's terrible this year. They barely beat them. I think Houston's definitely down this year.
It's kind of a down spot after a really good win against Texas Tech, too. I mean, asking these guys to get up again now on the road, I just
What
think
do you
it's a
mean?
lot.
That's college basketball. Once you get into conference play, you get up every 3 days.
Yeah, so lay 5 points on the road. See what happens.
So McCaslin is a former Baylor assistant coach there. So you get the assistant and then you get the head coach here. That's a tough 1-2 punch between Texas Tech and Baylor.
Someone just sent in a $49 super chat. Well, it says
bang bang.
Is that? Yeah, I think that's $49. Wow, thanks, man. Appreciate the support.
From Mexico. That's even cooler.
Wait, is it 49 pesos?
Well, it says
I
MX
think
next
that's
to
why
it.
he stopped. He was like,
Well, I didn't know. It says MX next to it, but then it also says a $. So, regardless, even if it's 49 pesos or $49,
Yeah, regardless.
yeah, it's
Thanks.
awesome. Appreciate it, man. You must have really liked that Baylor pick. I hate it. Another thing I hate is Vanderbilt. What an annoying team to watch against Alabama. So annoying, not entertaining.
yeah. I really wanted to play LSU tomorrow. Can't do it
No, you
because
can do it. This is where you play out. Everyone thinks Vanderbilt's the best thing ever right now.
but that Dedan Thomas kid, I thought we might get him coming back. He's probably their best player, if not their second best player. He's not going to be back. I actually just got that update like an hour ago
How
or
long's
so.
he been out?
2 games. So the 2 games. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So as much as I 100% agree with Sauce that Vanderbilt isn't as good as a 15-0 record, and this is a very large number, and especially a come down spot, even though they're still at home after that Alabama.
What's the kid's name?
where, Dedan Thomas.
Oh my God, it's their leading scorer and leading assists.
Yeah, it sucks.
He's the best player on the team.
Yeah. So I feel like this number's way too big. I was hoping to get that kid back and maybe sneak a LSU play in there, but it's official. Or he's doubtful. He's been downgraded to doubtful. So it just sucks. But yeah,
Hold on,
LSU or pass.
I'm pulling up his on-off splits on.
I know. I was going to try to do that, but I couldn't.
Did you already check it?
It's pretty good, but I can't remember off of. I couldn't do it and talk at the same time. But
so LSU. What do you think?
Boone?
I think Vanderbilt just beat Alabama by 6 points. I think this is a really good Mark Byington team he's got here. I don't really want to get involved with laying 15 points because I don't feel like he has any motivation to get to the 15 points versus LSU. But there's no look ahead. There's nothing on deck that keeps me off it. If I was forced to pick one bet, it would be Vanderbilt laying the 15 points. This is a really solid roster. I think LSU banged up might not be able to hang with, but one thing I've noticed in all sports over the years is that when you lose one of your best players, some of the other contributing players step up and you find a way to get a good overall team effort. I wouldn't be surprised to see LSU cover it, and that's why I won't take Vanderbilt on the spread.
And in that Alabama game, sorry to interrupt you, Sauce, but really quickly, Alabama shot 9 for 40 from deep. 9 for 40 from deep. Like, it's just one of those things where it's almost like an anomaly.
I need to bring this up on the screen, so this is concerning because I want to bet LSU, but this is that guy, Deion Thomas, the guy for LSU that's out. Check this out.
He's a beast.
So this is with him on the court. They have a 127 offensive rating, drops to 120 without him. Defensive rating, they're down at 99 with him, jumps up to 111 without him. So they're a significantly worse offensive team. They're a significantly worse defensive team. Their turnover rate jumps from 12.6% to 15.6%. They are better on the offensive glass without him. So they rebound better.
He's not trying to rebound.
Because he doesn't rebound. Because he's the point guard. Damn it. That would have been cool.
I know. Trust me, dude. I was praying that he would play, but it's just really hard.
I would have been taking LSU money line there if he was playing. All right, let's just go to the next one. Damn it, that was a cool one. I was really eyeing that up. That guy, he's their best player.
I know. And
I think that's why you take LSU, because they don't have their best player. Like everybody else steps up.
If this was the NFL or the NBA, I could get with that. But like, are we even sure these markets are on top of that? If it's up in the air,
that's fair. That was a message from Odds Logic too. So anyway,
if this was like the NBA and Jamal Murray's ruled out for the Nuggets, then the line's going to move. And then you could be like, yo, they're overreacting. But like, are we even sure the market is baking into the fact that he's not playing, especially if there was a chance he was going to return? I don't even know.
You got to realize there's like a 20th of the amount of money bet on like the most popular college game is the least popular NBA game. Like some of these games we talk about probably have like 100th of the volume of money bet on them is like an average NBA game. Like it's a completely different market. You can't even compare NBA to college. They don't react the same way to money or anything like that.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. So this guy's out. Are we even sure? What if they're going to announce he's definitely out and that shit's going to go to like 19? I don't even know. Buffalo, Ohio is up next. Another MAC game, I'm assuming, Spoon.
Yeah. So we just continue to take the teams that have just won too many games this season. Ohio came into this season with pretty high expectations. Came in, got absolutely smacked in their face. This first 7 games in the season started 1-6, but they started with one of the toughest competitions that they could have had: Arkansas State, St. Mary's, Louisville, George Mason, Loyola Marymount. Some really good teams. And then they've capped it off with just the bottom of the barrel. So it's no surprise that they've looked better on the second half of the schedule. I think that kind of touts up what they have right now. I think it overvalues them. I think Buffalo here right now catching points is ridiculous to be able to get 5.5. We got 5.5 minus 108. I think Buffalo wins this game outright.
Wow. So you think this will close well?
It won't, because I've already got Ohio minus 4.5, so it's not going to close well.
Oh, you're on the other side? Go ahead.
The 5.5 will close well, I want to say.
Well, technically, if it closes at 5, you both can close well.
Oh, that's true. Schedule merchant. I mean, Buffalo has played literally, I think, the worst schedule in college basketball. There might be a couple more teams that are worse. So, yes, it makes sense that they have a really good record. But Spoon said it. This really feels like Ohio and this Oakland game kind of from today kind of feels the same to me, where I forgot to bet Oakland. I thought it was going to be a smash spot. They were laying 14.5. Because they finally are getting to the point in their schedule where they're starting to play these bad teams. And like Spoon mentioned, Ohio played a whole bunch of really good teams to start the year, 137 for their strength of schedule. And now since the beginning of December, we've finally started to see them play teams that are down at their level of competition, and they're dominating. So not so much a dominating win at home against UMass, but now you're going to get a Buffalo team that's literally played nobody, already has a loss on the road to East Carolina, who's significantly worse than this team. Off of a home loss. I don't like the spot for Buffalo. I love the spot for Ohio. I think Ohio wins this game by double digits.
I'm good on this one. I don't like it. I'm down to talk about the next one, though. Big East, Johnny's Creighton. Also, 2 up. You got to play Xavier in 2 games, right? Actually, we'll wait. St. John's on the road at Creighton. Man, St. John's.
Oh, you're talking about the
Providence Xavier is in 2 games.
Yeah, okay. I thought you were talking about like one of these 2 teams playing Xavier.
Well, no, I'm saying Providence just gave it everything they had to beat UConn. That was their best fastball, everything they had in the tank. Now they go on the road and lose. They shouldn't be favored against Xavier on the road.
I agree.
So, yeah, we're going to bet Xavier in that one. Creighton, St. John's, another Big East game. So St. John's stock must have fell for them to be catching a point here, right?
Yeah, I think multiple people, not on this show, but a lot of talking heads like in the radio and stuff like that had St. John's as like a national championship level type of team, and it obviously hasn't played out so far like that. I want to bet St. John's here, +2 on Caesars. I think that I really wanted to bet them against Butler, and I didn't, and I regret that because that was an easy winner. I just feel like they're not necessarily their whole season is on the line, but it kind of is. I mean, if they don't start putting together some wins, it's not like the Big East is some fantastic conference. So, I mean, they're going to play UConn twice, and I guess maybe Seton Hall, if they continue to get lucky and win games, that those 2 games will be worth it on their schedule. But besides that, you don't have a lot of big games coming up. So I do think this is a huge game for St. John's. And keep in mind, I mean, I just don't know what to think of this team. Obviously, they don't have a point guard. That really hurts. But, I mean, that home loss to Alabama, I mean, looks bad. But, I mean, they could have easily won that game. They lost Iowa State, who's, like I've said many times, one of the best teams in the country. They lost that game by 1. They lost the game to Auburn, but that was the 3rd game in 3 days on a neutral. And I've said many times, I just don't put too much stock into those games. The Kentucky loss on the road is what was concerning to me. Letting Kentucky beat you like that, and when Kentucky only shot 25% from deep, that was a little bit concerning. And then the Providence game, they completely pissed down their leg, and that's when I said, okay, this is where St. John's has to go on the road, and we're going to find out who they are. I mean, and now here we are playing a Creighton team. And keep in mind, when I talk about St. John's, they've played one of the toughest schedules in the country. So I know that Creighton has also played a really good schedule as well. But at the same time, I do think that if I'm looking at Creighton and St. John's, I think that St. John's is a better team. I know that Creighton has been hot a little bit over the last couple of weeks, but I do think this is going to be a different level of competition that they're going to be seeing against St. John's. The Villanova win was very, very impressive. I will give them that. But at the same time, they shot almost 63 or 64% from the field in that game. In Villanova, another time where they kind of just pissed down their leg in the second half. So if that happens with Creighton, so be it. But I just feel like this is a really good spot to get points here with St. John's on the road, with not their season necessarily on the line, but kind of probably in their minds, it probably is.
I think St. John's might flip to be a favorite by the time this game tips. It looks like FanDuel has St. John's as a short favorite. You got a +2?
I got 2 on Caesars. Is it still there?
It's 1.5 -110 on Caesars. What do you think, Spoon?
I love St. John's here.
Let's go. I'll bet it with you guys.
Okay, let's do it.
I have 2 units split on the money line. I got the first line I saw, and then a +100 line I saw. I don't need points in this game. I think Creighton is really overvalued this year. Greg McDermott's a great coach, and he's made a lot of this team he has this year. But if we look at the Creighton roster we have in front of us, this is the worst team he's had in the last 6 years. I mean, we have to go back pre-COVID to find a Creighton team that's this bad. And he's had a really tough schedule. He's played some really great games with this roster. I think it is significantly overvalued with that recent win over Villanova, though. And I think that's something we can take advantage of. I think St. John's, like, coming into the season, as Toast alluded to, this is a team some people had going to the Elite Eight, Final Four, like very top team in the country. And they already have a loss to Alabama, Iowa State, Auburn, Kentucky, Providence. At this point in the season, they have 5 losses. None of the Final Four Elite Eight contenders that you would want on your resume are going to have those kind of losses. So I think we're buying St. John's at a really low point here. I think to be able to get plus money on the money line right now, it is ridiculous. I expect St. John's to take money overnight and Creighton to wind up the dog. And I expect St. John's to win this game handedly.
I couldn't get a plus money unless I missed it. I got a minus 105.
100 score right now.
Why did I not see that? Whatever. So I got a shitty number. But, yeah, St. John's. I'm in. I bet it.
It won't be. I don't think it's going to be a shitty number in the morning.
Yeah, that's
No. I agree.
Towson Northeastern.
I'm getting my lick back, boys. Full unit on Towson. Like I said,
back.
Don't do it.
No, I'm doing it. So we're going to really find out if Towson's bad or just unlucky. But like I've talked about, they've lost multiple games here. Shot quality has them grading out as winners. It's only a matter of time before this thing switches. So this will be probably my last hand in the cookie jar with this Towson team. But like I said, it just seems like all the computers and stuff that I trust say that this team has just been significantly unlucky. And sooner or later, that dam's going to break. So didn't work out versus Hofstra. Congratulations to them shooting fucking 40% from deep that night. Of course, congratulations. But anyway, full unit on Towson tomorrow.
So, Spoon, you don't think he'll be getting his lick back?
So Towson has been a very great program in the CAA for a long time. They have now started 0-4 in conference play. I think this is a little bit of trying to catch a fallen knife at this point. I obviously was on Hofstra there. I just think this Towson team has a serious inability to score the basketball. And maybe that doesn't matter as much against a team like Northeastern that has had their own inabilities to score the basketball. They lost L.A. Pratt really early in the season, one of their best players, main ball handler, Almare later in the season. I don't think Northeastern is great or anything, but I think whatever number we see with Towson right now is just inflated by the name that the program has. I think this team is significantly down from any Towson team I remember.
I'm good on that one. Let's move on to Musketeers. Spoon, why don't you lead off? Are you down?
So you want to get in on Providence here?
No, Xavier.
All right. I can get in on Xavier. I'm not trying to buy in on Kim English. Tell me on it. I like simple. Xavier. I think this is a decent spot.
That was everything Providence had. Went into that game against UConn. Went to overtime. That was their best fastball. That was everything they had. They put it on the all out. Left it all on the court. Fell short. They're deflated. Now they go on the road, laying points. All of a sudden they almost beat a team, and Providence is getting priced as a head and shoulders better than Xavier.
So I had Xavier in that Marquette game, and I was getting chirped at at halftime about how Marquette was going to walk away with this game and this and that. And Xavier came back, made it a game at the end of it, but I didn't have a lot of confidence in that team watching it down the stretch. Losing to DePaul by 9 points. Definitely a buy low on Xavier. Definitely a sell high on Providence. I like both of those sides of this bet. Toast, what you got?
I'm not betting Xavier. You're tripping.
Providence on the road laying a point. You're cool with that? You think that's acceptable?
I'm cool with not betting the game, but you can put up Providence for me. First and foremost, I mean, again, I feel like Providence has been getting a little bit unlucky. Probably should have won the Seton Hall game. Probably should have won the UConn game. Regardless, those games don't go through the bucket. But I don't know if I really downgrade them a ton for that. I mean, we all know that Seton Hall is the luckiest team in America, so them pissing down their leg is just par for the course. But, I mean, before that, they lost to Florida, Wisconsin, Colorado, Virginia Tech, all on the road or on a neutral. I mean, so this team has been tested on the road multiple times this year. And I mean, it's not like they're getting absolutely throttled against teams that are similar competition to Xavier. I honestly, I like Providence. I'm not betting this game. I think that Xavier is a little bit overrated. I think that they looked good against some really bad competition. And now that we've seen them against anybody, I mean, for me, you got a Georgetown team that really wasn't healthy. You won that game by 3, and then you beat a Cincinnati team that can't score, that's super overrated themselves. I'm just really, really not impressed with that. So, and then the West Virginia game, so what? But I haven't really been impressed with Xavier. I've been a little bit more impressed with Providence. I know the results haven't been there for Providence, but it would only be Providence for me.
So Sauce, I see plus 105 right now is the best number I can get on the money line with Xavier. If we look at this Providence team, the Butler double overtime game, couldn't put it away. They lost to Seton Hall. As Toast has told us all year, Seton Hall is the luckiest team in America. That 72-67 victory. I mean, it probably should have been a 67-50 loss, but
shot quality had them winning 74-68.
Get the win over St. John's and then another overtime win versus Connecticut. So in the last 4 games, they found a way to lose 3 of them in games that they probably could have won. I think we take Xavier here. I like it. I'm going to take that plus 105 money line.
All 3 of those teams that you mentioned are 3 times better than Xavier.
They're deflated,
At least 3 times better.
3 times better. You're right.
At least.
Toast. That's what I'm trying to do. Buy low, sell high.
Buy low, sell
I
high.
think this is a great spot to do it.
I just bet it. I don't care.
Providence has lost 3 out of 4. I don't think you're really selling high on Providence.
People think they're
But
good.
2 overtime wins versus like top 50 teams in the country with Butler and Connecticut, or 2 overtime losses, and then a win versus St. John's, top 25 team.
Xavier played Connecticut too. They lost by 30.
Exactly.
And like, even though it says they lost to Seton Hall, they really won. Like, everybody looks at shot quality.
Yeah. Providence is losing games and getting hyped for it.
I think I was the only person that was typing. I was just trying to get
They're
a little context.
road favorites.
Because Xavier sucks, dog. That's why.
It's really disgusting to
Fine, I'll
try
cash-
to
You guys
try
don't
to
have
bet
to
a
bet it.
team that lost to DePaul, but they lost
Now
to DePaul on the road.
now I wanna bet.
I'm doing it. Do it. I got the plus 105. I bet it.
I just bet it too.
I got the scoop jinx on me right now. I can't do it.
Scoop jinx.
What?
No,
What?
it's true. This has happened. Scoop told everyone in the Discord, Toast is up 11 units in the last 9 days. And whenever Scoop announces how good Toast's doing, he gets crushed every single time. So Toast flipped out about it.
As soon as he wrote it in the Discord, I said, I lost for a week. Start fading me now. I've lost 3 days in a row.
Yeah, as soon as
I was feeling really bad for TV Jones, who's doing the whole like I'm gonna fade every single pick he has, and then I like came on the show the day he didn't show up, and I was like, I'm 9-2 over the last 2 days, and then he's not showing up. I was like, I can probably guess why.
Yeah, rough stretch for TV Jones. Let's talk SEC. Auburn only laying 1 to Arkansas. It's interesting.
It is interesting. Welcome to the jungle. Plus 1.5. You already know what it is. The Auburn game against Georgia, we covered. The Texas A&M game, they pissed down their leg. It is what it is. Blow a 16-point halftime lead or 16-point second half lead. It is what it is. You write that. You do the old Men in Black. You forget about it. But previous to that, Auburn's losing to teams like Houston, Michigan, Arizona, and Purdue. So the Georgia game, overtime, it is what it is, coin flip. But this Auburn team, I think, is one of the more undervalued teams in the country. They play one of the hardest schedules in the country. Arkansas is a really good basketball team, too. They've been tested, only losses versus Michigan State, Duke, Houston as well. But I also think it's a lot to get up for another game. After a really good win against a Mississippi team that's kind of mediocre at best, that kind of played them really tough. I just feel like this is a great spot for Auburn at home. And keep in mind, Auburn's coming off of that. I mean, I know that they lost to Texas A&M, but they won that buzzer beater, was what, a 10th of a second off or whatever it is, whatever you want to call it. So I just feel like this is a really good get up spot for Auburn here, who has only lost to really, really good competition. Getting a 1.5. I took Auburn. Oh, it's -1 now. So, all right. Well, I'm on the right side of it. We'll see what happens.
I think I agree. Spoon?
I'm going to be on the Arkansas side of this. Calipari, a lot of people have different views on him as a coach, but he definitely has a long history with this Auburn program, and not with the current Auburn coach, but with the current Auburn's coach's father. And he was able to go into the jungle versus Bruce Pearl and win. I think he can do the same thing here. This is obviously a tough position. I'm looking at numbers that I see so many different teams that like value into the final numbers we see with these teams right now that like don't equate to decent teams. So it's hard this point in the season to really do anything with it, but I fully believe that Arkansas is the better team right now. Auburn has an amazing home court advantage, and it's hard to fade that. But I think Calipari knows what it takes to go into this building and win. So I'd lean there, but I'm not ready to put my money on it.
I just feel like Auburn's losses are like all against really strong teams. Well, actually, Arkansas has some really good wins too. Yeah, I'm not.
Arkansas's good.
I'm gonna side with Toast, but I will not be adding this one. All right. Next up is, damn it, Clemson, Notre Dame. This is short for Clemson against Notre Dame, right?
A little bit. Notre Dame plus the 2.5. Notre Dame on the money line at plus 132. Buy low, sell high type of situation here. Not that I feel like Clemson's a bad team. I just don't really feel like they're a great team. I think they're maybe like 3 or 4 in the ACC. I would take Duke over them. I would take Virginia over them right now. And then Miami and NC State, you can kind of flip coins with whatever. I don't really care. I'm not going to argue with you. But regardless, I do think that they're going to be seeing a Notre Dame team who I think that Micah Shrewsbury, with 8 days to prepare for this Clemson team, can give them fits. I know that they're not going to have Marcus Burton in this game, but they haven't had Marcus Burton for almost 2 weeks now. Yes, the Cal game was an absolute disgrace, but they should have won that. I mean, they should have won that game. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. They had a bad stinker game before Christmas against Purdue Fort Wayne, but losses to Houston, Kansas, and Iowa State. I think this Notre Dame team is a little bit better than people give them credit for. I know I was on Clemson versus SMU. Or no, I was on the under in that game. That was still hit. But regardless, I don't think that Clemson's a terrible team. I just don't think they should be commanding this type of, I got 2.5, but almost a full possession on the road where they've played teams like Syracuse and Cincinnati. But like I've said many times, Cincinnati, I don't consider a good basketball team. They can't score the basketball at all. They can play defense, but they can't score at all. They got a win against Syracuse as well. That was a 3-point win. Syracuse was coming in after winning 3 straight. I don't know. I just really haven't been super impressed with what I've seen from Clemson so far. And I feel like people are going to be fading Notre Dame because of what they saw off of California. But remember, they only lost that game because Cal had a phantom foul called when they were shooting a 3. So they had a 4-point play, which ended up killing them. So I think this is a great spot for Notre Dame to get right at home against a little bit of an overvalued Clemson team. Notre Dame plus 2.5. Notre Dame on the money line.
I hate this pick.
Most do.
I like Clemson. What about the loss to Purdue Fort Wayne, dude? They lost to Purdue Fort Wayne.
I mentioned that.
I don't think you harped on it enough.
Well, look at all their losses. What's in common? They're all one possession besides like one game.
All right, so if nobody's going to say it, so right after Purdue Fort Wayne, they played Stanford. They scored 47 points. Yes, they won that game, but they scored 47 points. That is disgusting. They played against Cal right after it. They lost the game to Cal. I don't think Notre Dame's overvalued right now. We look at Shrewsbury. What has he done with Notre Dame in the ACC right now? He's finished 7-13, 8-12. Right now, he's 1-1 in the ACC. This is currently the overvalued position for Notre Dame in the ACC. We're catching Clemson -2 versus a Notre Dame team. I think Notre Dame loses this game to a lot of different teams in this conference, but I think Clemson in particular probably wins it by double digits. I'm close to moving on Clemson. I haven't done it yet.
I like Clemson.
I would wait, boys.
What do you
I'll
think?
get him in a pick.
You think Notre Dame's taking money like that?
I bet you they do.
What? They lost to Purdue Fort Wayne.
I know. Clemson at a short price should be free. 1.5 on MGM. 1.5 right now. Don't lose it.
I'll chill.
All right. All right.
Missouri Ole Miss. Missouri played some impressive defense against Kentucky, and then Toast was so mad that in the Discord he literally asked everyone, claims it wasn't a troll question. He asked, who's the better team, Kentucky or Santa Clara? That's how
Put it on a poll, please. Please put that on the poll right now. I want to know right now.
I don't think that is a ridiculous question. I don't think that's a ridiculous question.
On a neutral floor, who are you taking right here today? Santa Clara or Kentucky?
Middle of the country, to clarify.
Exactly. Middle of the country.
This is some recency bias hot take shit. Kentucky be laying 7.5.
So you would take Kentucky?
Yes.
No.
Definitely.
No. Spoon, what are your thoughts on that? Who would you take? Santa Clara or Kentucky?
So
are you crazy?
Really?
Thank you.
No, hold on. Right now, I really think it comes down to where you're playing it. So, like, on the West Coast, I think it's a Santa Clara game, and I think on the East Coast, I think it's a Kentucky game. I think if you play that game in the center of the country, like, both teams have time to get acclimated to the climate and time zones and everything. I honestly think Santa Clara has the better shot to win this game, and only because you're looking at a Santa Clara versus Kentucky game, and you're getting Kentucky on a neutral, and for Santa Clara to be able to get Kentucky on a neutral, that's like a once in 25-year kind of event. So you're going to really get up for that event. But I think Santa Clara is very close to Kentucky talent-wise. I don't think that's a ridiculous question by any means.
Recency bias.
Dude, Santa Clara is good.
I'm not saying they're not good, but Kentucky is clearly a superior talent.
Superior is a wild word.
What? Kentucky has more talent than Santa Clara.
I mean, they paid for some. Yeah.
It's like during a down year for Alabama in football, being like,
no, it sounds like you're looking for Calipari, but we just talked about him with the Razorbacks.
No, Calipari's not there anymore.
It sounds like you're looking for those recruits.
All right.
That's what it sounds like you're telling me. You're like, oh, it's Kentucky. Because what you say when you say it's Kentucky, it's the last 20 years in Kentucky.
Nick Saban isn't on Alabama anymore. Who's better, Alabama or Nevada, you think?
I mean, that's not fair.
It's recency bias, man. Kentucky would dust Santa Clara. Missouri, Ole Miss.
Go ahead, Spoon.
All right, so Ole Miss is coming off 2 losses to Oklahoma, Arkansas. Missouri coming off 2 wins to Florida, Kentucky. Buy low, sell high. We obviously sell Missouri off those wins, and we take Ole Miss off the losses. It's nothing that I moved on right now, but I think Ole Miss at home, Chris Beard is a pretty solid coach. This is something I will continue to look at and may actually move on by tip.
Yeah, I thought Missouri was bad.
I think they are. I don't think they're as good as what they have shown. Yeah, I mean, the Kentucky win looks really good.
It's really hard to back Ole Miss. Like, I didn't mention all the losses they have to not good teams, and they haven't beat anybody good.
I mean, their losses are their worst loss is 129 Iowa. It's not like they're losing to bad teams. Iowa's 19th, Miami's 37, 23 St. John's, 33 NC State, 55 Oklahoma, 22 Arkansas. The top 100 schedule.
I kind of like this.
To see Miami at 37 is just wild. I didn't expect to see that number next to their name.
Yeah, Missouri's only played two road games. They lost to Notre Dame, and then they had that Kentucky win.
Yeah, and they've played nobody. I feel the Kentucky win was a graded loss, so congratulations to them. The Florida game they got up for. I just think
Ole Miss body of work kind of sucks, though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like
Well, Missouri is all recency bias. Like there's nothing like if you go back 2 games, you could say the exact same thing about Missouri.
That's why I said it's hard for me to ask. I think the play is Ole Miss because I really think it's hard to ask Missouri to get up for 3 straight games. They got blown out by Illinois. Congratulations, and they get Florida. We just talked about Florida earlier. How Spoon and I both think that Florida isn't the same Florida team as they were. They're a little bit overrated. Obviously, they got that win. And then they played a Kentucky team that we just talked about. Kentucky's not good. And that game was graded as a loss for them. So I just feel like that you're asking a lot for them to go now on the road again to an Ole Miss team that's lost 3 of their last 4. But to all those teams are at least 2 of those 3 teams are better than Missouri. Oklahoma or Missouri, that's a hard one. But I would still tend Oklahoma there. I'm not going to argue with anybody, though. But it would only be Ole Miss for me.
Yeah, nah. I don't like that one, but I picked Ole Miss.
That's actually one of my favorite ones. I'm gonna move on it.
Ole Miss, yeah, I have them on my little.
So that was one of your favorite, Ole Miss.
I think Missouri takes money though. Like I don't think we move on it right now. It's kind of the reason I'm not doing it.
Well, now we get to the main attraction. For those of you that haven't been watching every night, Toast has been repeatedly claiming Seton Hall is overrated. And he said it over.
The luckiest team in the country.
Yeah,
by far.
The luckiest team in the country. Not any good. They keep getting lucky. Blah, blah, blah. But now is the true test. Because as somebody who just watched Georgetown's last game in its entirety, you should not be betting this team.
Why? They won for us. They won for me. Cash the ticket.
No.
Why am I mad?
They lost to DePaul.
Did you have the under?
I bet DePaul. That was a bad spot for me.
But I had Georgetown, and they lost to DePaul. And they were terrible.
So to not cash that Georgetown ticket, like I think they had 1 field goal in the entire second half of that basketball game. The last 10 minutes, it was disgusting. Like I just needed like a couple of free throws. I don't think you could have had a more perfect script, like as you on the other side of that, Toast. Like watching that, like there's no way you could ever script a basketball game to happen that exact same way again. That was the most disgusting way to watch anything end.
I agree.
Spoon, do you agree with Toast that Seton Hall is the luckiest team in the country?
No. I think Holloway, I've been saying this for a few years now. He has a second half defense where he puts on pressure. He's got 2 different presses he puts on that he saves completely for conference play. And some of the comebacks he's able to pull off with it, it's rather impressive. I think Seton Hall, if you're playing a team that can't shoot well, is always going to be live. And if there's anything I say about Georgetown, they cannot shoot well. That was the most disgusting college basketball game I've watched in years.
I know.
I've been to 25 high school basketball games with better offensive performances in the last like 2 years, and that was disgusting.
So just a quick question so I can wrap my head around this whole situation. Seton Hall's really good. Georgetown's really bad and can't score, and Seton Hall's laying under a possession on the road.
I don't know if he necessarily said Seton Hall's really good.
The road.
Okay. Well,
I don't think Seton Hall is priced as a really good team. They're just better than Georgetown.
Well, they're not priced because they're not a good team. That's why they continue to have short numbers.
They're better than Georgetown.
Yeah, sure. But I'll be taking Georgetown plus whatever the number is. I'm going to wait because this is going to come up.
It actually went down.
I was going to say it's been sitting at 2.5 all day. I haven't seen a 3 all day. So wherever the 3s were, congratulations.
Pinnacle opened at 3. There was a 3 available for not very long. Circa is still at 3.
Yeah, I was going to say Circa open 3, still has 3. They haven't budged.
Everywhere else is 2.5.
I can't bet Circa. So, Yeah, not gonna fall off of what I've continued to say. I feel like St. John or Seton Hall, is one of the luckiest teams in the country. We can go all the way back to the end of November when they played Washington State. Win, graded loss. Kansas State, win, graded loss. Providence, win, graded loss. Marquette, win, graded loss. Creighton, win, graded loss. Sooner or later, this luck is going to run out for this team. And we're getting a Georgetown team that's starting to get a little bit healthy. And yeah, you're right, they can't score. But you know what? Seton Hall can't really score either. So both these teams are going to defend. We're going to see like 55, 60 possessions max in this game. I'll take the Hoyas at home to spoil everybody's Saturday in Seton Hall. In where are they from? Newark? Yeah.
Seton Hall?
Yeah, they're in Newark, right?
No, they're in
They're in Newark.
I don't think they're in Newark, dude.
Well, it says on
That's
Ken
what
Palm,
Ken Palm says. He asked the question while reading it.
They're in they're in South Orange, which is next to Newark, and a lot of people do consider that Newark.
Well, no, I said it that way, Spoon, because when you're driving in that area, like I see signs like Monmouth and Seton Hall and stuff like that. So I wouldn't be surprised if it wasn't actually in Newark.
They're in South Orange. Under. No reaction.
I think an under with these two teams is a great bet. Georgetown plays great defense. Seton Hall plays great defense. Both of these teams have a lot of questions offensively.
You should bet Seton.
I think if you're gonna bet like an under, it'd be more fun to bet like an alt under and like bring it to like minus 120 and take the under of that, or a 120 and take the under of that.
I'll go back to under. Yeah, well, I wanted to pick against Toast's unlucky weird take. Team continues to win basketball games, just still unlucky. 13 wins in a row, all unlucky.
No, just 5 of the last 6.
6. Every single one was unlucky. Couldn't possibly be that they're good at finishing games.
I'm just telling you.
Finishing games is a skill set.
When shot quality is grading their losses by multiple possessions, it's unlucky to me. Like it's just luck. Like I don't. So we'll see.
So nothing with Georgetown's last game had to do with luck. They just suck at shooting the basketball. That was terrible.
Yeah, Georgetown sucks. But again, if Georgetown is so bad and Seton Hall is so good, like everybody tells me they are, they should be laying more than a possession on the road to a team that literally can't score. I don't let
myself bet against a team like Georgetown after I lost like with them the day before, like because that would be a bad thing because you're just betting off your own recency bias and just like taking advantage of your own biases, and that's what the books want you to do. But Georgetown is absolutely god awful right now. Like to expect them to win a basketball game or to expect them to score points right now is ridiculous.
And somebody asked in the comments, what's luck? Well, I looked at shot quality scores. It's not an end all be all, but when you win every game and lose every shot quality score, that's unlucky to me. And I'm not the only one that feels this way. I might be the only one on his show acting this way, but I'm telling you, there's other respected people who shows you probably watch feel the exact same way as me. I promise you that.
So was there like a little Seton Hall hating cult? Are you saying?
I'm not at liberty to on everybody else's.
It's like a secret society.
Only give mine. I just know that I've been told by other people that I'm not crazy. It's just the way I go about it.
So other people are giving you the affirmation you're looking for. So it's like a secret underground Seton Hall hating society. Is there a hazing period to get involved?
I don't want to talk about it.
Maryland, UCLA.
Ed Cooley is definitely a Holloway fan. Those two are buddies off the court.
What about Maryland, UCLA, guys? Maryland out on the West Coast?
You can go first, Scoop. I don't really know.
I don't think Scoop's here, but I'll go first.
Or Spoon, sorry.
So this won't be a 3-week road trip or anything for Maryland that they got to do. Immediately leaving Indiana, going to UCLA. I think it's a great UCLA spot. Mick Cronin coming off a couple losses versus Iowa, Wisconsin. That Wisconsin loss was a little bit tough. I really feel like UCLA should have won that game, and I know Mick Cronin does too. So I don't think this number is big enough. I think he's going to have the pedal pushed to the floor for the entirety of this game. It'll be 5 minutes going out before we see the starters, and UCLA up will be by 25 at that point.
UCLA in a blowout.
Yes.
You think it'll close?
Maryland missing their best offensive player still.
He's still out? Yeah, they were so bad without that guy. Have they won a game without him?
No.
Yes, they beat Old Dominion.
Old Dominion.
Who cares?
You asked. I was just answering.
So wait, hold on.
It's a game. It's a game.
So since they've got... Now, they actually went to Virginia and kept it within single digits without him, though. They did play one competitive game, but for the most part, it's been bad for Maryland.
But like Ryan Odom plays like such a slow tempo, like keeping it within a couple of possessions versus a team that plays at slow tempo, like it doesn't really.
So does UCLA play
exactly
slow?
What UCLA does as well.
UCLA plays slow?
Yes.
Yeah, Mick Cronin plays slower than.
Damn it!
Mick Cronin plays as slow as it comes.
Yeah, UCLA plays slower than Maryland does.
Yeah, I can't lay it with UCLA. I'd love to. I was kind of high on this UCLA team, starting to run and hide a little bit. Go ahead.
So if we're gonna see
wait, hold on. Toast sauce. Don't mistake playing slow for not having efficient offensive possessions. Like they play slow because he knows. But like at home, they will take great advantage of those possessions. Like this is like such a long-term basketball issue with so many cappers that like you just go to make the totals off of the possessions and it's just a math equation, and that's not how basketball works.
That's not how I'm looking at it. I'm looking at it as I went into this season thinking that Mick Cronin would use Donovan Dent the way that he has been used in his whole career and running up and down the floor, maybe not running up and down like he did when he was at New Mexico when they were, like the top 10 in pace or whatever it was. I mean, this kid was running for his life. So a big part of my dumbass brain thought that he would use Donovan Dent the way that you were supposed to use Donovan Dent, who's your best player. And he's not. He's making him walk around, and Donovan Denton doesn't look right. And now you, on top of that, you're not going to get Sky Clark back tomorrow. He's already been out, so that's another guy that can put points on the board for you. I was high on UCLA. I don't know. I can't lay double digits with this team right now when I feel like there's going to be like maybe 65 possessions in this game. Again, I'm not betting Maryland, but at the same time, I mean, Maryland's played a very, very good schedule. Significantly better than UCLA. So, of course, they have to go across the country. They don't have their best player. But, again, I'm not betting Maryland. You can put it up for me just so people can talk their shit. But it would only be Maryland for me. I think, again, I hope that UCLA wins by double digits. But I think that you're asking a lot from it, personally.
3 games remaining. Texas, Alabama. Can't believe Alabama lost that game, man. To bum-ass Vanderbilt.
That sucks. The 9 for 40 does not help at all.
9 for 40 from 3, that's what it was?
Yeah. That hurt. For sure. Alabama, over 176.5 or Alabama team total over. We've talked about this Alabama team for years now, and we talked about it specifically when they played Vanderbilt. It's variance. We literally just said 2 seconds ago that they went 9 for 40 from deep. I think that they just now they're back home. Vanderbilt's a little bit of a weird gym. We talked about that as well. But regardless, I still think you see 76 to 80 possessions in this game because it's not like Texas wants to play a super slow pace either. They've shown the ability to play high possession games over and over this year, regardless of who they're playing. So if I feel like Alabama's going to get their 3 balls dropping like they have at home, one of the top teams in the nation, top 10 team in the nation as far as scoring the 3 ball. And I think that Texas can put some points on the board because this Alabama defense really isn't doing much right now. And like I said, the pace is going to be there. Texas is getting close to one of those teams like Florida State where it's either and Alabama too, where it's either they give up 100 or they score 100. Now, it's not 100 every time. There's some 99s and 97s and 95s in there and whatnot. But regardless, it's somebody scoring 100 when these two teams play. I played the over here. I don't mind Alabama team total over either.
Any thoughts, Spoon?
That over makes a ton of sense to me. I don't really like touching totals in college basketball, to be honest, but I also think Alabama's the side here. After that tough loss to Vanderbilt, I expect them to really bounce back. They've taken 3 losses on the season before this to Purdue, Gonzaga, and Arizona. all top 10 teams in the country, according to Ken Palm. Each time they bounce back with commanding wins. The Illinois win right after the Purdue loss was very impressive. To go to Illinois, play them in the state of Illinois, get a win by 4 points. They beat Arizona, or they lost to Arizona. I just think this is a really good spot for Alabama. I don't know, 13 points is just quite on the cusp. If we could get 10 points, I'd probably lay it, but I don't have a bet yet.
And I will be playing most likely the team total as well, because even last year, if we remember, guys, what was the rule? Alabama off a loss scores 100. That's pretty much the same thing this year.
Real quick, before we go on to the next one, tell me why I shouldn't take this TCU plus 8.5 right here. What does TCU have to earn respect? They almost beat Michigan. They should have beat Michigan. They beat Florida. They went into Kansas overtime. Why does this team have no respect at all? They're getting 8.5 at home.
Kansas isn't good. Florida's overrated.
What about Michigan?
Yeah, Michigan on the road sucks. So
you're gonna?
I don't know.
I feel like
I'm not laying it. But
TCU gets no respect, dude. They get no respect. No one gives them any respect. The team's good as hell.
I fully agree with Jamie Dixon gets no respect. I said that the last time we spoke, but it's Arizona.
Jamie doesn't get any respect because he can't win games.
I don't give a shit about
I
Arizona, man. I'm betting.
I don't give a shit about March. This is Arizona right now. Like this team has point to prove, especially after that. Arizona's gonna blow them out. I really do like TCU and Jamie Dixon in the right spot, but right after the OT loss to Kansas, might as well be a win. It's a letdown spot.
There is no letdown spots with this team. This team gets up. This team's good. They come through for me every single time. I don't turn my back on people like that. I don't turn my back.
The only thing that bothers me, Sauce, is that I don't know where the rebounding comes from. They're playing one of the biggest teams in the country. They're like one of the smallest teams in the country. I get what you're saying, and I can't really argue it that much, but god damn. Yeah. I also feel like this number is kind of short, to be honest with you. I thought it would be double digits.
Oh my god. You guys just haven't watched TCU.
I've watched them multiple times. That was a point to you, I think. I bet TCU.
No, this number should be like 5.5.
Okay. Now you're acting like me in Miami.
What are you talking about? You've been on record saying talk about how good Michigan is. They almost beat Michigan. They should have beat Michigan. They beat every.
You just told me that you don't care about games in November. That was 2 months ago.
I'm just saying this TCU team is possibly a top 15, top 20 team.
I'll give you 25.
Okay, then why are they getting 8.5 points at home?
Because Arizona is the best team in the country. That's why.
Wait, hold on. Where are you getting their top 25 team?
I said I didn't say they are top 25. I said I would give you top 25 at some point. But I don't think they're a top 25 right now, but they're definitely not 10 or 15.
I mean, where are they a top 25 team? What do you mean? They have some awesome games on their resume here. When's the last time
they've played shit resume?
Okay.
What are you talking about?
So the Florida on a neutral, like all those neutral, like early season, like it's so hard to put value into those because not every team treats them the same way. So like I'll give TCU credit for the Florida win right there. I think Wisconsin's dog shit. I think Notre Dame's dog shit. They lost to Notre Dame. Every other win until we get to Baylor is not really that impressive. The OT loss to Kansas is great, but after having a win versus Baylor, an OT game versus Kansas, I now expect the letdown. Like this is the whole like. I'm not trying to buy high on the team.
I feel like TCU is the only team I've seen give Michigan an actual game. All right, Mississippi State, Kentucky.
Penn State gave them a pretty good game.
Yeah, after they were up huge and stopped trying.
What?
They were up like...
It was 74-72. Like,
no, at the end. But Michigan was up like 14 towards the end of the half. They took their foot off the gas. Michigan was up big in that game. Let's see what the lead was. Because I remember turning it off, thinking they got Michigan's going to cover. They were up.
Was it really?
Oh, they were up 9 at half.
Penn State had a big second half or second last 10 minutes. That helped. I think.
Yeah, they were. So okay. So yeah, Michigan was up 13 with 15 minutes left. They had a big lead. Mississippi State on the road at Kentucky. You guys assured me that Kentucky's terrible, right?
In context of what we were talking,
Well, laying 12 points to Mississippi State.
let me be on your college football shows next year so I can do the same thing that you do to me to you.
Why? So you can contribute bullshit?
Yes, please.
I'm just saying this team isn't as good as Santa Clara, but they're laying double digits to Mississippi State. So clearly the market just has no idea.
Because Santa Clara is way better than Mississippi State.
I would lay 9.5 right now with Santa Clara at home versus Mississippi State.
In a heartbeat.
What would you do here?
Kentucky team total over.
Spoon, anything?
So Kentucky's in a great buy low after back-to-back losses to Alabama and Missouri. Mississippi State coming in, wins off Utah, LIU, Memphis, Alabama State, Texas, Oklahoma. They're absolutely rolling. Who wants to get in front of Chris Jans? I think this is a Kentucky spot. I don't want to get in front of Chris Jans, so I'm not going to put my money there, but I do think it's a Kentucky spot.
All right, let's move on. Last game, Fresno, San Diego State. Who picked this one?
Did Trevor hop on somehow?
Maybe this one was checked accidentally. Did no one check this one?
No, I kind of want to talk about it. I do feel like this number is pretty big. Not that I'm trying to make a case that Fresno State is some great basketball team, but I mean, in the month of December, they lost to number 22 Arkansas, number 26 Utah State, number 81 Nevada, UNLV's number 147. CSUN doesn't mean anything, but obviously this game on the road kind of sucks, but you're also getting a San Diego State team that's, I don't want to say playing over their heads right now, but because I do trust Dutcher and his recruiting and all that, and Miles Bird has been there, and that kid from Rutgers, what's his name? Magoon or whatever it is. Regardless, I do think they're a good team, but I do think this is a lot of points coming off of a huge home win against Boise State where it went to 3 overtimes, and then they go on the road and against a really good Nevada team and get that win now. And now they got to come home sandwiching a spot where they have to go to Wyoming in a couple of days as well. I just feel like this is kind of like a sleepy spot here. Again, this isn't like a bet on Fresno State, but Fresno State's played a somewhat competent schedule. I think top 170 or 180 in the country. So it's not like they're playing a whole bunch of cupcakes. So it makes me not so worried about having a 7-8 record, whereas San Diego State's played obviously a really good schedule as well. But again, I just feel like this number at 14.5 is a lot when you're probably going to see, I don't know, 63, 66 possessions in this game at max. Neither one of these teams like to play at great pace. So, and Fresno State is actually pretty good defensively. I just feel like this is more of a rock fight. San Diego State wins by like 9 or 10.
A rock fight, you say? All right. Guys, everyone. So there's an NFL video up where I go through the 2 playoff games. If you guys want to go check that out, it's uploaded. Yeah, everyone have a good night. I'll see you all.
Virginia minus 11.5. Boise State on the road, or Boise State at home versus Utah State.
What about Duke SMU?
Yeah, that was a hard one. Duke hasn't really been playing that well, so sooner or later they're gonna. I mean, I know that they've won, but I don't know. SMU.
I thought it was a Duke spot.
Duke 12 minus 12.5. What about TCU Arizona?
I just don't like the fact that they're coming off of a huge TCU Arizona. Yeah.
All right, everyone, have a good night. Yeah, the NFL video's up. See you all tomorrow.